Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with the Eras mod. We're continuing here a little bit as we are picking what mod or game to play next. So we're continuing doing a few battles here just to keep producing videos. I have something to post. With that said, we have quite a lot to do today in terms of we've got one really big battle, so try to do as little bit of prep talk as possible. In terms of what's going on other locations, the only real thing that you have to know is that the howitzers are now with the Polish army, so they should, even if it becomes that they, intercept us and it becomes a siege, I should now, with the help of the howitzers, be able to clear the fort in a completely different way than just with the cannon. So we will be, the Prussians will basically be falling into their own trap by staying in the fort. But what we're going to do today is we desperately need to relieve the siege of Vienna. This time though, it's the Austrians attacking Vienna, so it's a little bit different. One turn until surrender, so it has to be done this turn, otherwise everything goes to shit. So while Moravian countryside has been cleared for Oudrinot and his army, they have consolidated their troops around the city. So right now, around the city, there's 30,000 men. There is less than 3,000, probably a little bit less because they've been dying of starvation. So around 3,000 men inside the city, with 30,000 outside, and I've got about 10,000 coming in reinforcements. However, winning against, however many units there are out here, since there are at least what looks like 3 full stacks with a little bit extra, that's close to 150 units. There's no way within a reasonable time frame I will be able to defeat that many. So the plan is to strike hard and fast and to destroy this army as quickly as possible. I've said this before, that if you're able to destroy the army before reinforcements arrive, you should technically be able to win. And in winning, this army should be forced to retreat, but all the ones that reinforced it should also be forced to retreat, even if they never took part in the battle. So that's the plan. What helps me in this case compared to most cases is as soon as they lose a unit and it leaves the fields, nothing's going to happen. It's when it because it's going to only start reinforcing them after there's less than 20 units on the field. So if there's 19 units on the field, then is when they're going to start getting reinforcements. So I could technically destroy these 15 units, and they should still not be able to receive reinforcements, which will help me out a lot. Also, the fact that he's standing right by the bridge, so this will be, hopefully, a river crossing battle, which will help me a lot, because it will concentrate their entire army in one place, and I can destroy them in one place. It's just making sure that I'm able to do this before they receive reinforcements. If they receive a single unit of reinforcements, it's all destroyed, because as soon as they receive one unit, the rest of that line of reinforcements is going to come in, and then we get overwhelmed. At that point, also, what I could try and do is I could specifically try to target the soldiers out of this army and try and see if I could destroy that. But the problem is, the longer the battle goes, the more likely it is to crash, especially when we're looking at, possibly 150 enemy units coming at me. Really, it goes down to be able to do what I often say I want to do, but not very often actually manage to do. But hopefully, we should be goal, and this should be our day. This should be our day where I will complete it. So as you can see here, we've got 6,000 men arrayed against my 7,000, and that's just to start with. Then there's 3 armies of reinforcements, totaling 25,199 men. This is a large battle, and if I want to get done with this with any reasonable time, I should start now. And so without further ado, let's jump into battle, shall we? This is a very large battle, and so we must play it quite well if we want to win it. As I've already laid out, we want to destroy this army in its entirety before it receives reinforcements, and so winning and actually have a chance of winning this. I have arrayed quite the battery for this army. It has a total of 5 artillery pieces. We've got 8-pounder here, a 6-pounder there, and then we've got 3 units of 12-pounders. And then the troops are arrayed. I think we better start. And we're going to start by moving up this light cavalry unit. I'm intending to move it behind the cover here. It will drag the artillery fire of the enemy's battery, hopefully. So my batteries can march up unmolested. As you can see, the Austrians do control the crossing point. They've decided not to spawn all the way up at it, but they control it. I'm going to send the Carbineers up first, followed by reserves of Fusiliers and Grenadiers, and then we've got 1 brigade of Fusiliers on the left and 1 on the right. And then I've got another one of 5 units that are going to secure the bridge together with all the light cavalry. So I'm hoping to spearhead them across, surround the enemy and destroy them that way. On this side I've got the heavy cavalry. The heavy cavalry will be part of, you know, frontal assaults heading straight into the enemy right here. Now I wonder, have the enemy's battery set up and have they started firing? No, they're moving them up, which is great, but I need to move mine up, preferably up onto the ridge, so we can shoot down the ridge. The Austrians are coming on fast. One of the problems here is that neither side starts with complete control. Actually, the Austrians did start with control. They actually controlled up all the way up to my side. But it looks as though the enemy general has made a mistake and not secured this side of the river, which he's now going to. Looks like he's scouting the river crossing. I might just move my cavalry then to see about attacking him. Oh, I was sure they wasn't gonna move. You know what? A more tempting target than this stupid general is actually to take out this battery, which is now followed by, looks like, 2 cavalry units and 2 units of infantry, perhaps. As I look at the field, I notice there's a wall right here. Suddenly this became Fredericksburg. I can hold the wall, and then a little bit of a fence there, and it's directly opposite the only real good crossing point. Now they have Jaegers coming up. Oh right, I think he killed themselves on the bridge or something. Anyways, I don't have to worry about him anymore. Did he get shot by my cavalry? They don't shoot on the move, do they? They were speeding and took the corner in a very bad way and died. Right, the general is moving back. Look at them. They're all converging on this one point. We need to get across, they say. Otherwise, we're stuck on our side. I'm surprised they moved their artillery forward. They had me in their sights right from the start, so I'm kind of surprised that they moved forward like that. Gonna deploy these towards the wood as well. Right, are they actually coming across? Yes, they are sending units across. The light cavalry, I need not spend the light cavalry immediately. like I normally do, so the infantry brigade will deal with that. Like, my guys are now up here, which is nice, and I should detail a plan for these guns. They should be stacked on top of each other, with a 6-pounder stand in front with the 8-pounder on top. I've reached location. We've taken control of the stone wall. However, we are unfortunately receiving fire from the enemy's Jaegers, and I've lost 6 men. So while the enemy lost one of their batteries in a car accident, or a battery accident, we have lost 6 men due to 8 men now. They're bringing across all of it. This is better than I thought. I thought perhaps this would fail and I would be stuck fighting 150 units in a battle that no way I was going to be able to run on time, and in the end up running out of time or just running out of men. The enemy would keep throwing their troops at me until I had nothing. Right, so the 3 units of reinforcements need to be... I'll put them in between. Then we put the grenadiers in the back as reserve. As like a last reserve. There's plenty of Austrians through now. I will drag the line like this. It is Uhlans, it's Cuirassiers, it's line infantry, 3 units of line infantry coming across. I think these will handle it. What I'll do is I'll put 3 on the work to... Did you just shoot these carabiniers in the back? I kind of feel like they did. Cuirassiers by the Emperor's Cuirassiers, unfortunately, riding straight into us there. Moving my men into square. I'll move the cavalry up, able to shoot down the line there, and hopefully I can get these units get to that wall immediately, plus the heavy cavalry lining up there. I'll bring the general up closer. Unfortunately, the Austrians have gotten quite a bit far without me being able to fire a single cannon shot at them. And this one's coming up, closing the distance with the main line there. I have to fight 2 battles at the same time. Right, they are being held off. The Feldjäger is being held off for now. But god damn it, I think I'm gonna have to sacrifice some cavalry here just to hold them off. The carabiniers are gonna end up in trouble if I don't. Right, drop the squares, move on the attack. You're gonna have to move into square. You're gonna stay in line. The cavalry attacked. The lines here. Luckily for me, the Austrians are very incapable. This line though of carabiniers is very thin. Could easily break under too much pressure. Finally, the guns are in position. Time to deploy them. The enemy is too close though for me to properly fire at them. The good thing here is what is going on here. This unit is getting attacked.
Our men are running, sir.
Alright, the unit I sacrificed got broken. No surprise that it broke. The lines are holding. You going out of line is not that great. I need to specifically target certain areas. I feel like we specifically, the 6-pounder should aim a little bit higher. Alright, what are you doing? Hungarian Hussars, Dragoons should be able to deal with that. There's so much going on. Right, they were sent off. Right, all the light cavalry across right now. Swing up. Swing up, surround these. You move forward on the attack. You should join here. Actually, both. Going that way. Oh, we've got another dragoon riding into my heavy carabiniers who are being fired through the flank. Destroyed immediately. This one's getting pummeled by artillery. I want to send in my cavalry, so I'm gonna aim my guns across the river to try and not get to hit my heavy cavalry, as I intend to send them forwards now. Feels like the right moment. Didn't I order you guys to cross? Cavalry, but it's broken. Look at all of these running. Oh, you set off without me giving command. They just heard me. The heavy carabiniers compared to the light carabiniers on foot have taken off and charging down at the Austrians. I am firing on the one unit across there. Did I destroy a 40 stack? This is the thing why I should have had 40 stacks enabled from the start. I'm destroying a 40 stack when at the same time that I would take to, you know, a similar battle but with 20 stacks that are reinforcing each other would take twice the time. I think we're gonna have to stop the artillery, even though it's such a tempting target to fire there. To fire at this. What I'm gonna do is, there's a lot of troops retreating here. Fire here, just to give me the effect, while my heavy cavalry just goes in and pummels what's left here. And as the cavalry goes in, I'm gonna tell the frontline men to hold fire. Hopefully the light cavalry is coming across. This attack move by the Austrians have been surrounded and is slowly being cut to pieces. And my light cavalry is now coming around, hoping to move on these. They're all running now. They're all running. There's a few units actually holding on in the water here. Well, actually what I'll do, cavalry will go after this one, leaving a little room here for my guns. We lost a gun here. The enemy was able to set up then and fire back at us. Surprise, surprise. Right. I want the cavalry to give some room so we can pummel the area. The light cavalry should move to intercept that. This one's gone. Nice. The thing is, as much as I would want to continue to follow the troops and run them down completely, if I run them down completely, they'll count as, you know, not being on the map anymore, and then someone should technically be able to come in and reinforce them. And that is something we don't want happening. That makes... I mean, they did brought their artillery right across the river. I guess they did manage somehow, some of their units were able to get their cannons across and actually fire up the hill at me. I have to see that in the replay. Perfect shot up that one, and as more and more of them are being pulled into this. Right, fire on everyone on this side. The heavy cavalry is on standby. It will be sent in at any moment. The light cavalry has arrived and will now block the exit and make sure that the army is totally annihilated. We have been only playing for 15 minutes. I've destroyed 40 stack army. Single unit still holding on here. Should give way pretty soon. I deal with that general. And then I think now's the time. Now's the time. Hold fire with the artillery. And time for the heavy cavalry to strike. Just a thundering of the hooves from the heavy cavalry is enough to get their troops to retire. Let's see, there's one there and there's one there. When they go, now there's only one unit left holding on. Once it goes, that should be it. At that point, I should be victorious, and I should be able to call this a victory, and hopefully that should force. There we go. Yes, I did it. I did it. I saved my army so much blood and toil by being able to crush the Austrians here at the river crossing. Wonderful. here's the result of the battle. As you can see, I am fairly sure that my plan has worked absolutely exactly the way it was set out. There's no way I've killed 22,000 men in that battle. Or what happened on screen, even though there was a lot of units. There's no way that was the 2/3 of the army. That means that my plan has worked. And the reinforcement in the chaos after that big army was destroyed at the river, the chaos erupted going through. The Austrians figured, putting 7,000 men with, easy to reach tons of reinforcements. That should be easy enough to defend that river crossing. However, at the early morning of the time, the thing about the French army, one of the things of it was that it moved at lightning speed. It was able to. The Austrian general decided on the morning, the French, they're not close. Maybe I should take possession of the heights on the other side of the river rather than just defending here. Silly bastard, just as he crossed, he realized the French were on the other side. And he got absolutely crushed, I should say. Well, he crossed himself by crossing the river. And he got crushed in an absolute disaster of a defeat. And the rippling effect of the French being able to push through with no other front lines prepared put the entire Austrian forces disarray. 2/3 of their army either captured or killed on the field after this. Audrineau had achieved a spectacular victory. 11,000 men under the French. 1,100 of them lost in battle. But comparatively, the Austrian force was devastated. 2/3 of the force dead or captured. Only 8,000 men remaining, the equal force to the reinforcing French. Plus with the now 3,000 within the city. There was no way this could hold, and so the Austrian army had to retreat. This is a stunning victory. Highest kills goes to Carbinier, which was awarded 707 kills. Now, because of this, I think, as we know, the first army that we fought here at the river crossing was comprised of 7,000 men. There's no way he managed to get 700 out of, and the next and so on, going down the line, but god damn. God damn. And the victory experience for all of these. At least 1 point, but most of these get plenty. Even General Staff is able to gain some. With Audrineau gaining 2. And I think it's Sul that's reinforcing. Gaining more. What a battle. Finally, one of these worked. I've always had the idea, striking hard and fast, and being able to devastate them. And look at that. Vienna is no longer under siege. Audrineau gets attacking general, which is perfect. There's still a sizable amount of Austrians here. The thing is, I want to turn my attention, really, to these up north. However, with the Austrians here on the back foot, I think the best possible action would be continuing the victory here. And here we've got less than 1,500 against all my forces. And at Resolves we lost, unfortunately, more men than probably if I played it, but saved me a lot of time. Maybe you should lead the next one, Ashley. Come in and lead against this one. He will drag in this one, but he is also already... No, he didn't even join. He didn't even join. Disarray, complete disarray in the woods. Another force of 2,000 Austrians.
Glorieuse victoire!
Again, we lose a little bit too many men than what would really be seemed reasonable. Now I could continue attacking this one, but he will be actually reinforced by a proper army there. So that's a
À vos ordres.
no siree.
Prêt.
What I'm going to do is I'll put you on. I want to put you on this side, I think, and I'm gonna put you on the river crossing,
Monsieur.
and I'm gonna put you somewhere in
En
between.
avant.
And what a stunning victory! A lot of the killing and a lot of it didn't happen. It happened on the field, but at the same time didn't happen on the field. If I wouldn't have been able to achieve what I did there, I mean, I'm vexing, or what's it called? I'm too much, really. It's just that so many times I've planned this kind of battle and it never happened, and here it did. A lot of it was thanks to the enemy deciding to cross the river against me rather than staying on their side. They could definitely have stayed on their side. And I should say here, the reason why I'm really happy about this as well is when I tested it out, I tested to see first and foremost what I would get in the battle like this, just to see the amount of troops and so on. But let's just say the way that I played the test battle, it didn't go this way. So I'm really pleased with that. But then again, the test battle, mostly I wanted to see like how many troops were actually going to take part in the battle and so on. And I wanted good weather as well. But here we got that. We just annihilated 22,000 Austrians with an additional 1,500 here and 2,000 there. So what? 25,000 Austrians dead. We have a broken up army here without a way of gaining reinforcements as of now. It would have to break through to get to here. So it can't go through here. And I've got Gaucher arriving to take control here. So the Austrians are screwed. And I've got two armies moving down to protect the Bavarians. And I've got more troops coming this way as well. Great. One thing that I didn't mention early on, because I felt like if there's going to be a huge battle, I better spend most of the time there. The Danish have once again declared war. Not at me, at the Hanoverians. So I've moved in to protect them. I kind of forgot about it, and they have been able to get through a large amount of forces. Now I'm moving in to try and protect the Hanoverians, and I think even with the kind of crap forces I've gathered here, if I'm able to get to the bridge first before the Danish, which I'm hoping I do, then I should... Oh, they've declared war on Mecklenburg as well. So they will be able to go through there. That's not as good. But I should be able to protect this bridge. This bridge, not as much, because I figured they weren't going to attack Mecklenburg. This force right here is... I kind of want to send it to... what's it called? Sul. John D. Sul should get these forces to bolster his army. And the thing is, because if they're gonna hold that, if the Austrians gonna hold out here in the stupid fort, then I'm gonna have to get the Polish army over there to cast them out. But I think this was a good battle, and I'm hoping to get this one in. But as it is right now, I'm like, we're really close to starting the new campaign, so we will end it with how it's going to be is I'm going to completely destroy the Prussians most likely in the next video, and hopefully I will have, if I haven't, like, what I could do is I could send all available troops that I have in the area. Could send all of them to attack here and destroy these, out-resolve them, gone. The Austrians, I'm sure, would accept a peace and all their troops would be moved away, so I wouldn't have to deal with them in this fashion right here. And I could then, you know, I could definitely say that I have won in that way. I did what Napoleon did, except the disastrous attack on Russia. So that would be more of a clear-cut victory. I haven't really fought that much against Russians, and unless I start it, then there's no need for it, is there? I might even, maybe I can even sign a peace treaty with them right now. The British are begging for a peace treaty, so, I mean, Napoleon has won. Napoleon has won. But I feel as though there's at least one more video in this, which is the Battle of Warsaw. The Polish will have to be able to release or save their own state. At least we can do for them, since they have served Napoleon so well. And with that, I think we're going to end the video right there. And so, I'll say as I always say. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully, I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.